And we are live. It is the 25th of the 10th, 2025. The time is 3 minutes past 6. British summer. It's going to get techier than techie things. Listen, T minus 27 minutes until we get an FP3, during which we'll get answers to some super necessary questions. Is Red Bull and Max Verstappen sandbagging? Is that Lando Norris 121.0 on them meetings in the dying embers of FP2? Does that mean we need to take McLaren seriously? Are they back? It is round 20, of course, the Mexican Grand Prix, 2,200 meters of elevation, C2, C3, C2, C4, C5 tyres. Is going to get techie than techie things. I don't know who's going to win this one, chat. I know they have Max Verstappen as the odds makers favourite, and he's a big favourite. More than 50% of the time they say he wins. If you run a qualification 100 times, it's going to get techie, chat. I don't know. Let's go through some bits and bobs over the next T minus 26 minutes, because it is going to get techie. We've got circuit breakdowns, we've got numbers, we've got context, we've got driver standards, we've got everything, and we've got upgrades, and we've got Max Verstappen saying that he thinks it's well within his control. If he does everything that he can do over the course of the next 5 race weekends, then he thinks he can win a championship, techie. Big Max weekend, Michael. Big weekend, full stop. Good evening. What's going on, TWM? You're a legend. Z, the legend that is. Hello, ladies and gentlemen, says Darius. Please press the like button. Let me put this up front and central. It's important that I make no apology for labouring this point, that this community fan channel, Cameron CC, drives and survives under the aegis of your support. You guys fact checking, calling me out each and every single juncture, holding my very noddy B-spec F1 feet to the F1 flame. It's going to get to. Here's what you need to know. Go on then. We've got circuit breakdowns, and by the way, in short order, I'll get the metrics out. Of course I will, in short order. And again, those are provided to you by the legends, the go-toest F1 app to have ever F1 app to the legends that they call Multiview. Is your circuit breakdown. Mexico, 4.3 kilometers. Get me over to the side a little bit more so you guys can see me. 4.3 kilometers, 71 laps. Carlos Sainz won it last year. 1.1 minute 15 seconds, 9.46. Most driver wins. That's Max Verstappen around here 5 times. 5. Second team is Jim Clark on 4. I want to say most team wins around here. Red Bull Racing. Going to get techie. Again, this is high altitude, isn't it? This is like 3 times Burj Khalifa, the tallest building in the world, meaning therefore downforce or aerodynamic efficient downforce is something weird. You can tack on loads of it and you lose. It is weird, and that on the left hand side, on the right hand side of your screen, bears that out. 119 points scored by Max Verstappen over the course of the last 5 races. 119 points scored by both McLaren drivers over the same period of time. What are we doing here, chat? Here are your times. So we're going to kick off T minus 24 minutes until we get ourselves a cheeky FP3. And again, the times that you see on your screen are all local time, and then in a couple hours time we'll get ourselves an all-important qualifying. Here's what Lewis Hamilton said to the McLaren pairing: sack off your McLaren, your papaya rules, and let's race. If you're going to beat Max Verstappen, then there is a tax to be paid at the altar of cutthroatness. You need to be prepared to roll up your sleeves and do what's necessary. If you want to win per Christian Horner, then you will do anything to get that, if you really, really, really want to. So Lewis Hamilton is, of course, tapping into his experience resource. 2021 went head-to-head, toe-to-toe for his nearest makes no difference, a season entire with the one that they call Maximilian Verstappen. So if anybody would know about the rules of engagement requisite to beating a Maximilian Verstappen, a fire-breathing dragon, 4 soon-to-be 5-time champion, then it would be the one that they call Sir Lewis Carl Davidson Hamilton. As far as upgrades, have you seen it? This is all reliability. They need to make sure that the cars are cool, don't they? Because it's Mexico and it's high altitude, meaning therefore all the teams come with these extra louvres, however you pronounce that word. Red Bull, super aggressive as far. I mean, that's very sexy, eh? That is very sexy. I said earlier, and I will reiterate for the avoidance of the doubt, if I didn't have a missus, Do you know what I mean? Me and that RB21 would be having words. And again, you can see the Honda, can't you, through those Red Bull liveries. It's sentimental, it's nostalgia, especially when you remember that in 1965, that was the first ever race won by a Honda engine manufactured car. That's techie, isn't it? That is very techie. 60 years since. What are we doing, chat? Makes me get a bit sentimental. But Red Bull aren't just bringing those upgrades, they're bringing loads. Albert Fabrega says what you need to pay attention to as far as Red Bull and the way in which at the moment their rules of engagement are that they won't stop at anything to get that dub. They understand the stakes. They need to get these drivers if indeed they harbour aspirations of keeping themselves for soon to be 5-time champion called Maximilian Verstappen. Hence why they're throwing everything at this. All in, 10 toes down, zero divestment or diversification of portfolio, as we're having a look at James Vowles doing his best Espanol impression. 400 of you watching, do me a favour and smash the like, as this is context. T-minus 21 minutes until we get ourselves an all-important FP3. We'll talk about the times in short order, I promise. Here are the upgrades that Red Bull are bringing. 10 toes down in 2025, going all in on the Drivers' Championship. As well, they might, lest we forget, that a bird in the hand is worth 2 in the bush, particularly in F1. F1 history doesn't repeat, but sometimes it does rhyme. Mention no names, Mercedes in 2021. Here's what Red Bull have bought per the legend that is Albert Fabregas, Mr. Upgrades himself. Front brake ducts, cooling radiator inlet, engine cover, cooling outlet and floor side wing. This, of course, having just brought a brand new floor fairing, brand new front wing, perpendicular settings, orthogonal to the floor. They bring in everything, and as well they might. Meanwhile, over at McLaren, Woking, 0 upgrades. How do you think that's going to work? How do you think that's going to play out for you, Zach Brown? Go on then, here's the gap. Here's what the gap's been doing in graphical terms. You know already the deal that there is a Maximilian Verstappen circling in the water, and he's getting closer and closer by the second. Max said of his circumstance in a press conference, in an interview, with Inside the Paddock. Forget their name. Inside the inside track on YouTube. Brilliant interview. And Max said he was talking quite earnest and honestly, more relaxed than you see Max Verstappen most of the time, which is significant going into the last 5 races of the championship, because a relaxed Max Verstappen, some say, is an unbeatable, invincible Maximilian Verstappen. A very difficult, steep hill up which Lando and Piastri will need to climb. Here's what's been going on. He's been absolutely destroying it. Of 133 points over the past 5 races available, I want to say, Max Verstappen has nailed 140. It's chaos. He's killing it. Circuit breakdown. Here you go. Per the legends over at F1 TV. There are your DRS zones. So 3 DRS zones. Most of the time, if there are overtakes happening, which is not often, that happens between turns 7 and 10. Mention no names, Carlos Sainz, per Mark Slade on Peter D. Windsor's channel, said that Carlos Sainz always nails turn 2, has this different way of hooking the turn up into the curbs. However, you won't get that now because they've messed with turn 2. So too worthy of note that the tyre stress happens between turn 1 and 3. Of course, massive braking zone, longest running on the Grand Prix, highest maximal on the circuit, highest maximal velocity going into turn 1, 800 metres worth of. There will be chaos. You only need to rewind to 2021. Max Verstappen went round the outside. 2 trailer park girls go round the outside of Valtteri Bottas, and no less, none other than Sir Lewis Carl Davidson Hamilton. It will get techie. Here's what else you need to know. And again, put some respect on Ruth Buscombe for these stats names. Top speed, look. There is no track where you will go faster around, reach higher maximal velocities than this one. Here's the clincher though, chat. Here's where it's going to get techier than techie things. We are T-minus 18 minutes away from a cheeky FP3. But you guys need to know this. On the soft compound tyres, long runs, Lando Norris, top to timing sheets on a 21.8. But I have... This is important. We went through this earlier, right? But this is really, really important. So Lando Norris on the softs, very, very consistent. However, look at the mediums below. Look at the bottom, in the centre of your screen, on the right of your screen, of those 3 columns. Look at the final times. that Lando Norris, towards the dying embers of FP2, went back in the pits and put on mediums, and then went and did 21.0, 21.0. Now I need to know, I'd love to be able to normalise for the fuel loads, because of course weight kills lap time, and if those are glory runs and Lando Norris doesn't have any fuel in that car, then you absorb and ingest those times with not less than a pinch of salt. However, if Lando Norris had fuel in those cars when he did that 21.043, shortly followed thereafter by a 21.034, that, ladies and gentlemen, Sir John Joe, is absolute chaos. Here's what Max Verstappen said though. In an interview, he's done a couple. Max Verstappen's thesis is this. He said the balance wasn't even off. It was just no grip. That is a bigger concern. As soon as you go in a sustainable run, tyres are going hot, we were nowhere. You're not going to win a race like that. If you are quick in qualifying, that means nothing. You need to be quick in the race. Therefore, Max is saying you can be fast over one lap, but if you have absolutely zero pace in the race, then it's going to be very tough. So I prefer to be fast in the race and not so fast over one lap. Oh, the humanity. We need to see this now. Let's do this. We'll talk about this more before the race. But again, pit loss. It's always going to be a one-stopper around here, because you lose, under green flag circumstance, 21.9 seconds in a pit stop. A virtual safety car, if indeed there is one, 12 seconds is how much you lose. Safety car happens 43% of the time. Virtual safety car instances 71% of the time. You've passed his prologue. Red flag circumstance 14%. It's going to get techier than techie things, chat. I'm here for this one. I am genuine here. Right, let's see if that's ready. That's not ready yet, but we'll talk. We are T-minus 15 minutes away from a cheeky FP3. How nervous am I? I'm bricking it already. What is this about, chat? The McLaren can't follow in dirty air though. No one can follow in dirty air around here. That's why overtaking manoeuvres happen at Mexican Grand Prix so infrequently. They were scrubs as well, Z. Oh no, Z. Oh no. It's gonna get techie. It is gonna get techie. They keep saying as well that pole is a poison chalice around here, right? You don't get into turn one first by being on the pole. Not around here. The running's far too long. You almost want to be in like second or third. Third gets the double toe. I mean, if you're Max Verstappen and you're qualifying on third, what are your chances therefore of getting into turn one in first? It's going to get techie. I tell you what, there's a stat pack per Daniel Vellante that I'm trying to bring up for you guys because it's important. I don't think pole does too well around here, but I digress. Go on then. Most race wins around Mexico. Max Verstappen 5, Jim Clark 2. Oh, the humanity. Jim Clark the next one, by the way. Most poles around here, Jim Clark used to go well. He has 4. Ayrton Senna has 3. Nigel Mansell has 2. I want to see the percentage of pole. Here we go. Grid positions. Pole, 45% of the time you'll win if you drop it on pole if past his prologue. P3, 25% of the time. 16% of the time P2. P4, 8%. So it feels like P3 is the position from which one would want to start if you could choose right. You'll make it into, 9 times out of 10, you'll make it into the first corner first. Or 25% of the time you'll win the race. It's going to get trickier than tricky things. Oh, the humanity. Oh, the humanity. I'm here for it, chat. I'm here for it. Right. Max never had a pole position here, but he's the winningest driver. Five wins, 100% Biochem. No reason Senna do not belong in it. Can you imagine, Michael? How very dare Zach Brown? Now, people are tied water if you're on here, mate. You'll tell me that clip's bogus. I don't think it is. Yeah, how very dare. And if it didn't happen, you know that Zach Brown would make it happen. He absolutely would. Bet your bottom dollar that he would. Go on then, let's get ourselves some multi-view up. Yeah, you want to be in third around here. But how can you manufacture third? Is the like how? How could you manufacture third? Do you just ease up? I think it's too risky. I think you end up in pole and then, do you know what I mean? Tell the truth and curse the devil. I don't know, Norris era, Senna era, they're having a laugh, aren't they? How very, even the words coming out my mouth don't even make sense. It feels like an oxymoron to say Senna and then Norris, like a juxtaposition, like a contradiction in terms. Unless Lando likes 15-year-old and no comparison. Lando's a rich baby, daddy paid. But so did Ayrton. Ayrton also came from a wealthy family, didn't he? Oh, the humanity. We are T-minus 12 minutes away from a cheeky FP3. Problem is you cannot ungle for foot. That's what I'm saying. The margins are too tiny, Remcon. You summarise it ever succinctly, much more than I could ever. The margins are far too tiny for you to engineer a cheeky third, notwithstanding the fact that 25% of the time, if you drop it on pole, you end up on third, you end up winning the race. Yeah, Max was struggling, wasn't he? Oh, the humanity. But Max has said a couple of things since. I'm going to read them out to you. I don't. So he was talking about the championship, and Matt's basically said it's within my control, nearly. Problem is, if Oscar Piastri finishes second every single race, including the 2 sprints, and Max Verstappen wins each and every single race, Oscar Piastri would still win the championship by 3 points. Therefore, the supposition of something like this, Oscar Piastri will need to continue in this rich vein of form or lack thereof. He feels like he's lost confidence somehow. Like Oscar Piastri of yesteryear, I keep saying it right. Who's this chap in the number 81 car? And what has he done with our mate Oscar Piastri? He's unrecognisable from the dude that was destroying everybody over the course of the first 9 races. Remember, first 9 races, Oscar had 4 poles and 5 wins. The succeeding 10, Oscar Piastri has only had 1 pole and 2 wins. What are we doing here? The trend is your friend. I love me some Oscar, but the trend is your friend until there's a bend, though. Maximilian Verstappen saying that we didn't manage to do a good lap. Talked about being on ice on the mediums, the short runs not great. Max Verstappen not happy, but I spoke to a friend of the channel, Mr. D. Windsor, between now and the last time we spoke, and Mr. Windsor thinks that Max and co will always find, at the very least, a few tenths. Do you know what I mean? They'll have something up their sleeve. The problem for me, as far as McLaren, listen, I really wanted to bet. If I'd not had my Weetabix, I would have bet Lando today, because he's a big outsider, and I think that car's really, really quick. I think there's an element of recency bias in the zeitgeist, in that we're unable or unwilling to normalise for the fact that McLaren didn't get all of their prep in on the US Grand Prix, because they yeeted it into each other during the sprint. Went too conservative as far as their ride heights, and now we're here. They'll get all the time they need to judge perfectly their ride heights here, and I think they'll optimise for their speed. You'll see, if there's still speed in that MCL 3.9, you'll see it at the Mexican Grand Prix. I'm telling you, in qualifying a little bit later on. It's gonna get very techy, I'm telling you. And I for one cannot wait. Still rather be first, get a good start, and push Lando into Oscar. Oh, the humanity. Mexican mid of defend. If Max takes pole, he'll still win. Max was struggling, but Piastri was not god tier. Paid 45 million for his first seat. Are you talking about Lando, Colt? Sainz, who won last year, was on pot. True also, Baslan. Very true. And Sainz isn't bad around here. Sainz isn't bad. They might have taken away his secret weapon by levelling out the turn 2 curb, but Sainz is really, really good around here. Also, virtual safety car probability 71%, full safety car 41% are not uncommon here either to bunch the field back up. Happens, Biocam. It does happen. You saw the stat on the right hand of the screen a couple of minutes ago. Oh, the humanity, and breathe, ladies and gentlemen, breathe. I'm so nervous. Who you got? Have we got a cheeky poll going? 77% of you think Max Verstappen is going to nail it. Jacques Villeneuve says that Oscar Piastri doesn't seem to be comfortable in the car, seems to be driving very tight, as was Lando Norris earlier this year, right? Until McLaren bent the design philosophy knee and gave him the new suspension at the front and the suspension geometry that he so needed to increase the extent to which he gets feedback through the steering wheel. It's techie this. I mean, what a time to be an F1 fan, eh? Peak F1 settings. I do think Lando will be fast in the race, but I do think Max gets pole. Don't bet against Max, he said. I'm glad you had your, I know, TWM this close. The odds for Lando winning this race are really very sexy. Let's go through them. This is important. Really, really very sexy. Very, very attractive. I mean, if I were sleep deprived, I might have taken the Lando Norris bait. I'm not going to lie to you, because his odds are really good. I think his odds are wrong. They always say bet the line and not the event, right? Don't become a betting. This is not financial advice. Don't be a betting degenerate if you're not one already. Lando Norris 4-1 to win the Mexican Grand Prix, chat. You mean to tell me that if we run 100 simulations of the Grand Prix, that Lando Norris will only win 20% of them? That's rubbish. That's just wrong. Now, listen. To save a dying puppy, am I going Lando or Max? Lando every single day of the week. But if I'm betting the line, I mean, Max is already, look at this. Max is 54%. I don't know, chat. I'm not sure that that's right. Let's have a look at the qualifying as well. For qualifying, Max is 60% of the time. And Lando's 20%, chat. I don't buy it. I think that's lies. I'm not looking to back against Max, but I think that those numbers, I think given the long runs, that 121.0 back to back on mediums from Lando Norris, I think the bookmakers want to put some more respect on his name. There is a recency bias, an invincible Max Verstappen tax that the odds makers are paying for, right? It's gonna be techie. T-minus 6 minutes until we get ourselves an all-important FP3. Oh, the humanity. I'm here for it. What's going on, Clive? You're a legend. Second DRS area doesn't seem to have a measure point. Canada GP gap. It's hard to keep pole because it's such a long running down to turn 1. I think we've covered that already, Biocam. Double slipstream is the best sling. Please advise 2021, eh? Leclerc will be in the top 3. Ferrari look like their engine torque is going well. All the Ferrari engined powered cars have been going well thus far, right? He's P2 on the dirty side of the track. P2. No, I think P2 is on the racing line. It's on the left-hand side, if I recall correctly, as you look at the track. So I think P2 is on the racing line. It's maybe P2, but if past his prologue, you want to be on P3. A lot of races have been won from P3. Today, says Z, I'm doing a Cameron CC betting on Lando. Did you bet on Lando, Z? Oh, I don't know if I trust that. I don't know if I can condone it, mate. But if you listen, I tell you what, let's be precise with our language here. If you're betting the line and not the event, then the Lando bet at 4-1, chat. There's no way that you can look me in my eyes with a straight face. This is not financial advice. Don't take this for it. There's no way that you can look me in the eye with a straight face, not with your tongue in cheek, and tell me that if you run 100 simulations of both the race and quali, that Lando doesn't put it on pole and win the race or win the race more than 20% of the time. There is no way. That's wrong. Ostensibly, it's at least 30-40%. 35% I think is nearer the truth. But bookmakers have him as 20%. I think that's lies. There is a statistical arbitrage opportunity in there. Therefore, for those of you who are brave enough and or not had your Weetabix, it's round 20, the Mexican Grand Prix, and I'm here for it. 608 if you're watching concurrently. Like the stream if you like the stream. 4.3 kilometers around here. 372 kilometers are our top speed. 1:14.758. 2,200 meters elevation. 71 laps. 1 minute 17.774. Your race track record. Tyres, C2, C4, C5. They've gone one up, haven't they? They're trying to get softer to induce more circumstance and variable change, and I don't hate that. I'm sure Max just wants, but he does want to put it on pole. I'm praying for you, says T. Thou shalt never back against Max Verstappen. I'm not, still would rather Max wins, but betting the line is worth it. F1s. Don't blame me, chaff. Don't blame me. I haven't taken it. But that line is wrong. 20% Lando. It is wrong. That's a lie. No. Lando will go well. Lando will win more as a percentage of the whole. Lando would nail pole more than 20%, and he will win the race more than 20% of the time if you're running 100 simulations. That's just the facts. So I heard from Peter Windsor that the curb, yeah, they've adjusted the curb, G3. They've nerfed Carlos Sainz and all his curbing advantage. Bear with me. Look at that. Can you hear Karan Chanduk saying exactly what we've just said? That Lando Norris's pace there today was absolutely unbelievable. No idea the other teams were like how Lando's done it. 21-0 on mediums in the dying embers of FP2. Insanity. I get the line, but it's Lando. No, 100% TWM. Mahad, the legend of McLaren Fan TV, acutely, infinitely closer to all of McLaren's going-ons and shenanigans, said that he'd never bet Lando Norris. You can't trust him. He makes too many mistakes. Just looked up there, 3 DRSs, but only 2 DRS detection points. Maybe they've messed up. I don't know. Maybe they haven't updated. 346 points currently in the Drivers' Championship for Oscar Piastri. Norris has 8-3, 214 points adrift. Max Verstappen 306, 40 points behind your championship leader. Oh, the humanity. Your boy needs to blow his nose. Forgive me, Lord, for I know not what I do. Bear with. Bernie Collins is talking about upgrades. Subject topic that we've already spoken to. I can't vote for OJP on your poll, mate. All the things. All the things, excuse me. Oh, yeah, he's not there. He's not there. That's quite sad, actually, all the things. I should have put him on there, shouldn't I? Instead of Charles, potentially. That's a big Oscar Piastri disrespect. But I just don't think. Go on, then, bet me all the things. Do you think Oscar will be in the top 3? Or top 4 even? FP3 is going to start now. It is. We are indeed encroaching upon FP3 territory. Do me a favour, 621 one of you in the chat concurrently. I know, see Paul, I apologize. I took my head away, but my etiquette is wanting at the moment. What's up, Petros? Lando's race pace management is good as anybody's on the grid. Maybe he's not bad. He can manage a tyre. Can Lando T-7 seconds, 5, 4 until we get V2 sounds. T-level. I apologise, mate. Mars, I could never. 6th, SD. We need to take a poll on where Oscar Piastri is going to drop this. Sorry, Cameron. I know. Honestly. G-man. It's chaos. Can't have a separate detection zone for zone 2 because it's too close. There we go. Biochem. Legendary. Absolute legendary information. Biochem goal corrects us. Puts us right as per usual. Can't have a separate detection zone for zone 2. It's too close to zone 1. Both use exit of turn 15 for the legendary bike. I should know that, shouldn't I? But again, this is why sometimes you guys have got to fact check me and correct me. Hold my very noddy F1 B-spec feet to the F1 flame, of course. What are we doing here? By the way, let me say at the outset, channel, I think I said already, but I make no apologies for labouring this point. This channel drives and survives by dint of each and every single one of you all here coming, fact checking me, arguing with respect. Like it's, and I'm grateful for that. Could have been anywhere in the world, but you're here with me talking about and watching the weird and wacky world that is F1 Nasdaq ticker. OJP has been dismissed by his own team. I think they realise now that if they're going to win the race, if they're going to win the championship, excuse me, then maybe now is the time to go overweight if we're using investment terminology. The one that they call Lando Norris, or the one that I call Lando Norris. Lando drops this on pole and Max takes his lunch money in the race. F1, you think? Have you gone Lando the pole? Although friend of the channel, Mr. Windsor, I was like, Peter, do you believe this? That Lando is that McLaren in Lando Norris's? Look at him, he looks cocksure, doesn't he, as well, Lando? Look at he's got his shoulders pushed back. The wink and the smile is back. The glint in the eye for Lando. Look at him. Right on cue. Like Cheshire Cat settings from Lando Norris. Look at him. He's like, yeah, I'm back. Don't worry. I've got this. Yeah, I'm the McLaren driver to watch. He's got his tail up, hasn't he, Lando? I don't know. I think a most dangerous Lando is that Lando who's happy in himself, who now thinks he's got the backing of the team. He's looking at the points and he's like, well, if you normalise for the cheeky DNF and the Canadian Grand Prix incident, then I'd be winning the championship. Is what Lando Norris will be thinking. Why do British people speak so well? I don't know, John. I think I wouldn't spread your linguistic net too far. There's some I could point you to some not very well spoken English people who disprove your theory, but I think that's a compliment, so I'll accept it. Absolutely Carmen out here using the emojis. Do you think Red Bull will sacrifice quality for a better race pace? So to that point, Max Verstappen was talking, wasn't he? So he said, wow. So Max Verstappen said, that he would happily sacrifice some qualifying pace to make sure that he's fast in the race. He cannot. Yeah, where is Easy G? Can't wait for the Oscar poll. Toby C, is that what you're... I should change it, shouldn't I? I should change it. I've been disrespectful to OJP there. Awfully disrespectful. Go on, let me change this up. Let's get another one out there. We're changing at the poll because I've been far too disrespectful. For a channel that will never sacrifice truth, value, nor objectivity at the altar of any cognitive dissonance worthy of the moniker. It's disingenuous, disrespectful, self-disrespect for me to not put Oscar Piastri on that poll. I apologise to OJP fans all over the world. I made a mistake. I misspoke. Imagine Max Verstappen, 7 poles more than either. Chaos. Here we go. You boys adjusted it. 700 of you in here concurrently. Do me a favour. If you like the stream, then like the stream. There's your poll. Let me know what you think. Although Brits often have good grammar, ask them to pronounce oh my gosh, Biochem. Lovers. Got no chance. Safak says P1 Lando, P2 Charles, P3 Max. Oh my gosh. Turn 1 gangbusters tomorrow, therefore, eh? Proper gangbusters. Oof. I wish you were on Sky Broadcast. John, you're a legend. I appreciate you saying that. I don't think you'll find me on there anytime soon. It would be hypocritical of me, so critical of them am I, to go and take a couple quid from Sky to go and do a part. I don't think it'll ever happen. Not that they've offered me. I don't expect that. I'm too harsh, aren't I? I always kill them, and not with kindness, with truth and objectivity. Right, let's get some Max Verstappen. Here we go. Go on, and on board with Max. Go. 21-0. That's the pick to click, eh? Max Verstappen going purples, of course, because nobody else. I want to see how close Max can get to that 21-0 of Lando. That 21-0 is very scary. Max Verstappen goes 118.9. There we go. 21-0 destroyed, eh? But with lower fuel, I would be guessing. Cameron, invite Jacques Villeneuve to your podcast. We need his unbiased comments. Agio, Jacques Villeneuve splits opinion, doesn't he? If Max is not P1, then he has the race setup and not qualifying setup. So the problem with that is this, isn't it? So John, those S's are wild slippery. They are slippery. Knew we made some mistakes as visual. I hope next year's car isn't one of them. Oof. Oof. So here's the problem. Mark Hughes writes in his latest article on Motorsport Motorsport Magazine, excuse me. That the problem for Max is that he's got to be. The problem is for Max, Oscar, and Lando is that not one of them can afford DNFs. Not one of them. A DNF would result in them. So they've got to drive accordingly, right? Max can't be as aggressive as he was with Lewis in 2021 because let's say he gets aggressive with Lando and then Oscar comes through and takes the mantle again. Like it's mutually assured destruction, as Mark Hughes termed it, and I think that's a brilliant analogy there. Mutually assured destruction, of course. If you look the terminology up, you'll understand. Oh my gosh, Lewis Hamilton, wide again. What are we doing? Internet is down in Houston because the racing gods don't want to see Lando taking pole from Max. Emilian Verstappen. Lord no, kids. Is he sandbagging? He looked like, well, that 118 is just like, no, he's gone hard. Why do you think F1 and F1 drivers don't do too much charity work? They're in such a privileged position. Why not use it for something? I think they do, but outside of like the cycle, right? Imagine over the course of 48 weeks, as near as makes no difference, doing 24 races all around the world. If I was going down the road to like Sandown, like Daytona, Sandown or Rye House, if I had to do that 24 weekends of the year, forget the travelling. It's like, nah, mate. It's a lot, that is. It's a big schedule. Lewis Hamilton out on track. Let's see where Lewis goes. Oh, Lewis, turn one, gone. The mistakes are becoming commonplace for Lewis, Clive? I don't like this. Don't like this at all. No, Neil, I think they've got to be quite discerning with their bandwidth, with their workload. You're a legend, do much. We'll catch up later, mate. Summary thus far. Max Verstappen jumps out the gate. Per the new Laura Mecchi's thesis, no time wasted. Let's get on it. 10 tenths at the outset and punches in a 118.9 on mediums. Fresh mediums. But that Lando did in the dying embers of FP2, a lap on medium, scrubbed at this juncture, a 21.0. I think I want to see what Lando's got here. 118.9, put that in your pipe and smoke it. Let's go. Cameron, has your views grown since everyone believes? Oh yeah, 100% Bastler. I mean, a rising Max Verstappen tide per the Nordschleife NLS round 9 the other day. A rising Max Verstappen tide floats all F1, but I think when it became possible, no longer implausible, that Max could win a championship. Everybody's dialed in. Everybody's talking about. You go to the coffee shop. Everybody's either talking about McLaren and papaya rules, or I love Lando, or I hate him, or Oscar Piastri's lost his mojo. Can Max do it? Will he do it? Is it inevitable now that Max Verstappen is getting a tune out of the car? Everybody's talking about it now. It's proper. This is. You'll see it. And if Max can continue, Kit, say Max wins this race and the next couple, and sends the championship into its season finale. Oh, the humanity. 119.9 from Hulkenberg, also on fresh compound tyres. Bortoletto on fresh compound, again track evolution settings there. 118.7 from Gabriel Bortoletto. 339 kilometers per hour for the speed trap. Don't hate that. Don't hate that. I've arrived, Z. Let's go, Easy G. Let's go. Lewis rocking a 157. Why even put? I know, Sir John. Big mistake. Big lock up turn one, right? That's Lewis Hamilton's outlet. The day McLaren boys came together is the day I started to believe. Oh yeah, no, true. I echo. There is nothing wrong with knowledgeable criticism, as long as it's free of crude name calling. I agree with you, G. I suppose the only problem is there's always been this like kumbaya approach. Look, as far as like broadcasting and sports debate, Sky Sports F1 are the papaya rules of the space, aren't they? It's all too like, yes, well, no, I agree. 118.0 from Max Verstappen now. Let's go. Lewis Hamilton puts in a 118.7 as well. Okay, everything's changing. 118.7, everybody's going. Look at that. Go on then. I want to see the McLarens and where they fare. Do you know what I mean? Hamilton cares about medium more than drive. Oh, Dustin, I can't even. Allow me to introduce you to my friend Dustin. His name, Mr. Kick a Man when he's down. Niels will be fine. Top 5. Here's hoping. Crown boys came together. Remember, never 2 without 3. Ooh, adieu. T minus 47 minutes left on the docket. FP2, FP3, and an all-important one. Max Verstappen currently tops your timing sheets on a 1:18.051. Charles Leclerc, bloody Nora. Charles Leclerc, as Niels makes the difference, 7/10 behind Hamilton on 1:18.7. Only 1/1000th for drift of his teammate, modern day Jordan Lazy. Bortoletto in 4th, Behrman in 5th, Ocon up to 6th, Colapinto 7th, Gasly, Hulkenberg, and Lance Stroll round out at your top 10. Do you reckon Max will use media psychology? No, he said. So he spoke to Inside Track and he said they talked about, the question was something like, well, do you want to utilise and or science goes top? Look at that, 1:18.0. Oh, the humanity. That's on softs though, not like for like. Only a couple hundredths quicker than Max on softs at a state where the track is more evolved. No, to your point, Mr. B. I mean, would Max use it if he thought there was advantage in there? Probably. But Max said that he's not interested. He doesn't want to give any more pressure than they already have, because there is a lot of pressure and he wants to focus on his own driver. In an interview with the Inside Track on the YouTubes. Cállate la boca. Sky Sports F1. In Spain, do they call Sky Cielo? Over humanity soft there. Track is evolving indeed. Go on then. Let's have a look at Lando Norris on an outlap. On them, their medians. Tsunoda-san. All eyes on Yuki Tsunoda. On board with 27.7 matches. Yeah, as near as makes no different. Matches the set to 1 of Max Verstappen. Don't hate that. You think it's a big problem with Max complaining about long runs in sims? Yu Ching Sao. Yu Ching. I don't think. Problem is, if past his prologue, history doesn't repeat, but it does rhyme sometimes. And whenever you look at Red Bull, the rate at which they improve over the course of a race weekend, going into the paid sessions, is always Yuki Tsunoda goes 1:18.5 rounded third. Don't hate that. So I just think for now. So I just think if past his prologue, Red Bull always improve their lap time at a greater rate than the other teams on the grid. And I think they'll probably do the same here again. I think that's what will happen. Yeah, for now, Z. But now that you've said that, you make me want one, mate. I do love a cheeky Red Bull, though. If I was Cristiano, I'd boot that off the table. 900 of you watching concurrently, do me a favour. If you like the stream, then like the stream. There is God tier market leading purple sector merch that you can get your hands on. Soon that line will be updated. George Russell merch coming out. If you want to become an elated peddler, then you know what to do. Bottom left of your screen, join. That will get you priority in the chat each and every single time. Discord access to a cheeky newsletter and some sexy emojis. You know what I mean? Yuki getting in front and help Max for what? Safak 100,000%. Imagine if Yuki Tsunoda threw his hat into this arena like Checo Perez did in 2021. Oh, the humanity, Safak. 800 of you watching concurrently. Like the stream, subscribe, share with a friend. Tsunoda-san apparently has had his Weetabix. Apparently so. Go on then. Let's go on. Where are these McLarens at? I'm keen. Outlap settings. Go on then. A cheeky purple set to 1. A purple micro set to 1 from Lando. Lando goes 27.98. Set to 1. What is that all about? What is that all about? Oh, here we go. So mistake central from Lando Norris again. Easy G for what is going on with him? Why is he so frustrated? I know it's okay. Look, I don't want to go scorched earth, Easy G, but flipping Nora. As soon as you look up and you see mistakes, of course it's a McLaren pedalled by Lando Norris. Of course, why wouldn't it be? Although this looks like a bloody reliability issue, doesn't it? Maybe I need to chill out. Easy G, is that reliability or is that just a lock? No, he's just locked. He's locked, but there's smoke coming out the back, so that doesn't look like a lock. That looks like something's been triggered on a downshift. Lewis Hamilton also takes that as an excuse. I just want to see Zach Brown have a crash out in Abu Dhabi if McLaren loses the championship, mate. Cameron, you eat your Weetabix today. I will have eaten the Weetabix ahead of qualifying. Alonso up into fourth. Update us, somebody. Where's Ted Kravitz when you need him? What's going on with Lando Norris's car? Ted Kravitz, I don't think, is in attendance at the Mexican Grand Prix round 20 this weekend. Norris spoiled Hamilton's purple run. People do enjoy spoiling Lewis Hamilton's, but he was purple. Look at that. Charles Leclerc goes third. 118.3, 3/10 adrift. Bloody Nora. Lewis was on a 27.4. Blisteringly quick from Lewis. Look at that. 350 kilometers per hour. Okay, so Lewis has to have taken downforce off. Cheeky look at Joe Grenier, legend. Reserve driver, Scuderia Ferrari. Like clockwork, Biocam. Insane. The frequency of these McLaren bods make mistakes. If Lando just didn't make any mistakes, and if Lando made sure that his hypothetical, perfect lap 3-0, I did it with F1 because I have no clue what's going on over there at the moment. I can't keep track. Too many different sports. How's Lewis Hamilton doing? Well, he looked super quick in sector 1, fastest of all, purple, but then he had to bail, sadly, like Gareth. Techie Marcel. T-minus 40 minutes and 43 seconds left on the docket. Can you spell pressure? Lando Norris. Here we go. 118.0 from Lando. It's quick. It's quick. It's quick. There's pace in that car, chat. That's the 3-lap old, by the way, that he bloody... So reliability is an issue. Oh, it's going to be close. So here's the problem then, chat. Got 100% oil problems. I think that's... I disagree with you, Easy J. I think that's ominous for Lando. That he's done all that chaos and then he's gone and done a 118.0. Problem is for Lando this, right? When all said and done during the paid session, if he hasn't got a doable competitive advantage in that McLaren car, then it's a wrap. I think it's a wrap. If Max is within a 10th or 2 of Lando Norris, then everybody can go. Kenny Smith settings, go home. Everybody go home. It's over. Max Verstappen will steal his lunch money. That's why he needs. That's why it's a flipping cheek that once upon a time Lando had the temerity to look at Lewis Hamilton in the face and say words to this effect. It's easy to win when you have the quickest car. Yeah. Dustin from Stranger Things said that. Bloody Nora Hajar. Hajar nearly eats it into the gearbox of a McLaren. Yeah, he was dawdling, was that McLaren. That's not a good look. Dawdling says, is Karan Chandok listening to me in our stream? Because he keeps using the words that I'm using immediately after I've used them. And we don't like that. I don't like that, I'll be honest with you. Oscar will win tomorrow. Mark my word, says Miami. Potentially. Where are the Oscar fans, Easy G? Right here. I'm a big Oscar fan. Win, lose or draw. I rate him. You can't be as good as he's been. He's been really, really good. I've got good memories from Oscar. Some really good ones. See, what do you reckon to the United story as Amarin turned the corner? Potentially. But it's always like this, and then all of a sudden they revert to the mean. Lando forgot you need to perform as well, says Chiba. No lies detected. Insane. Go on then. Carlos Sainz currently tops your timing sheets with T-minus 38 minutes left on the docket. By the way, for qualifying, 30 minutes before lights out, we will be here live. If there is a car on track, then we will be streaming here, speaking about it. Them's the rules. T-minus 2 hours and 30 minutes, by the way, till we kick off our qualifying stream. There will be, I'll link it. I will link it so you guys can jump in and start Start purple sector in it. Who's this chap? I recognise this fella with the horse. Must be a rugby dude or a fighter. I like the interview of Hamilton about Max. He's cutthroat. Lewis Hamilton can attest to that firsthand. Yuki, doing the press conference Thursday, said that he would try to get front to help Max. I mean, Safa. Do you know what I mean? Santa Claus will try and deliver my Christmas presents down the chimney this year. Mark, no, you are a legend, sir. The best way to tune out Sky Sports. Let's go, Jay. Z says, I think he has turned the corner after Liverpool. I don't know. Let's have a chat in a couple of races' time. Z, let's have a cheeky conversation. I don't know. I need to see an upturn. I need to see proof of life in longer form. As Albon had a clear and easy session in the past 6 races. No, there's always chaos with Alex at the moment. It follows him like a bad smell, like a shadow per se. Mexico Grand Prix slaying dragon, mark my words. He's a slaying dragon. Who are you referring to, Sir John? I'm a Liverpool fan. Are you a Liverpool person? Safak, I don't hate it. Liverpool girl. Don't hate it. You know what's really upsetting me with Sky? Indulge me going scorched earth for a second. Why, when Sky F1 go for a break, does Crofty not mute his microphone so I can't hear him going off into another stanza? This makes no sense. This is always so unprofessional. I hear the Sky Sports broadcast and they just get on my nerves. Not the broadcast, sorry, the podcast. Just get on my nerves. They're so unprofessional. Umanch is here somewhere. Amory 98. Yeah, Umanch is in the house. Yeah, it's getting on my nerves. Why am I paying £90 for this bloody Balk King? Good day, mate. Good day, mate. I need that. My Aussie accent needs work. My fellow Indian Umanch, Amory. And by the way, still Diwali, you're celebrating. Happy Diwali. F1 TV, says John. 700 of you watching concurrently, do me a favour if you like the stream, therefore like the stream. Max will win all 5 races. It's Max's driver championship to lose. Michael, too kind in the first instance. In the second instance, I don't disagree with you. However, he will need things to happen to Oscar Piastri. Lest we forget that the numbers don't lie. This is not Fermat's last theorem that we're solving for. This is counting. There are 5 races remaining inclusive of this one. 2 sprint races. Therefore, if Max wins every single one and Oscar finishes second every single one, Oscar Piastri will still win the championship by circa 3 points. So therefore, the supposition looks something like this. If we're playing balanced mathematical equation settings, Oscar Piastri will need to slump. But again, he doesn't like it around these. Which one of these tracks not named Qatar that we're about to embark upon has Oscar Piastri gone well around? None. You guys know the stats already. Not good. 2nd and 3rd at the Qatar Grand Prix in 23 and 24 respectively. But after that, nothing. Oscar Piastri is going into lean form territory. That's the problem. That's the problem. But I don't know. What do I know? I'm just past performance bears no relevance to that of the future. Some say Apple TV sub next season is so easy to get around. I know, Z. I know. The problem is I tried to do it once with the VPN and it destroyed me. I didn't VPN to the Netherlands. I tried to do it to the States and it was just too far and it destroyed all multi-viewer and everything. So just once bitten, twice shy. Michael, it will get techie. Just imagine though, chat, since we're playing 1100 of you watching concurrently, do me a favour and smash the like. Just imagine, Cameron, upon which grindstone did you hone your vocabulary? Let's go, Jason. I love what you've done there, sir. Cheeky reflexive. Stephen, you're a legend. I appreciate you, sir, becoming the latest elated peddler. If you are so inclined, get yourself over to the community tab, on which you will find a cheeky Discord link. You're a legend. I appreciate you. To the vocab, trying to ignore Oscar in P nowhere. No, easy G. Give him some time. He'll lock in. He'll lock in. Vocab, Shout out to Mr. Gurney at King Edward's Aston, the 6th. King Edward's the 5th. King Edward's Aston. King Edward's? I can't remember the number. The Roman numeral evades me. King Edward's Aston Grammar School for Boys. Shout out to Mr. Gurney and shout out to Leliana Leah. They taught me everything that I know. And shout out to Conrad James as well. Legendary professor at Birmingham Uni. I learn everything I know from these guys. I'm reading a couple books sometimes, you know what I mean? Sometimes, he says. What a numpty. 900 of you watching concurrently, do me a favour. If you like the stream, then like the stream. I appreciate you, Stephen. Get yourself in the Discord. As George Russell continues to complain about lack or poor handling dynamic. Everybody's locking up. Trust me, it's a game changer. Let's go. IPV. Okay, maybe. I mean, I've got something, Mr. B. I do have something, but ultimately I pay the 90 quid for Sky Sports F1 because I take my profession, in inverted commas, seriously. I pay for it so that you guys don't have to, that I can distill all the relevant plots and narratives, the quotables and sound bites, and bring them forth to you on this channel, right? I don't think I'd be doing my job properly. What's wrong with me today? I don't think I'd be doing my job properly if I didn't do it. The track is slippery cheaper. So you did hate faster slapped into account when counting that 5 points. No faster slap points. JC Ruigers. Not this year. Not anymore. That ended last year. 800 of you watching concurrently. If you like the stream, then like the stream. No JC Ruigers. You don't get faster slap. Yeah, 100% Joe. Great minds and all that. Doesn't count sprint race. Many top 10 get an extra point. No. The fastest lap, the extra point for the fastest lap, people thought it was stupid, right? Because people were just gaming the system. The top 10 would, if you're going to finish in the top 10 anyway, then you pit and then it was just fake. So people sacked it off. See, you're a legend, mate. I'll have a cheeky look. See, did we have a wager on George Russell? Oh, did we have a wager, Z? I might donate my end to cancer research anyway, even though I did not win. I did not lose. See, me and Z had a cheeky wager for those of you. 803 of you watching Kagoli. Me and Z had a wager on who. Can I share it, Z? I'll share it, mate. And you slap my wrist if I shouldn't share this information. I shouldn't have. Better to ask for forgiveness than permission. Me and Z had a cheeky wager on whether George Russell would end up a Mercedes driver starting 2025. Me knowing I see a lot of myself in George. And there we go. Look at that. He's a killer, this George Russell chap. He doesn't care. Discord, does it say invalid? Stephen, I will go on there and I will repost it in about 2 seconds, mate. Bear with. Close qualifying sessions. 800 of you watching Kagodi. Do me a as much like. I appreciate you each and every single time. We did. Yes, ever. We did. I might, you know what, even though I won, Z, I think I might go ahead and fulfill my end of the bargain, just since it's a good cause. Yeah. Right. Right, there's a brand new Discord link. The track is indeed evolving. Joe, you're a legend. A proper legend. I appreciate you. If you're a brand new member, no, you'll see it now, Stephen. Get yourself onto the Discord. It's chaos over there. I must preface that with this. It is chaos. But I mean, if you enjoy some good F1 discourse, then there's no better place to be. You couldn't cope any harder. I will keep my end. You're a legend. You're a legend, Z. I appreciate you, mate. And you don't need to keep your end. I'm bantering you, mate. I said I didn't want to take your money off you, and I still don't want to, Z. Like you don't. I'm bantering you, chat. Lando, T-. Oh, look at that. I missed it. Lando Norris currently sits atop your timing sheet. I'll be keen. I'm gutted that I missed when he did that lap time, so I knew how old those medium tyres were. But again, Lando Norris without pressure is a fire-breathing dragon of a Lando Norris. Very difficult to slay for. Charles Leclerc goes purple, set to 30.0, set to 2, 27.7. So, as versus Lando Norris's timesheet topping time, 27.7. So he's half a tenth off. He's carrying half a tenth. Is Charles Leclerc. But he's botched it. What happened there? How did he botch that? His sector 3 was rubbish. That's why. What happened there from Charles? I'm disappointed with that. As Alex Albon started to put, what's going on, Scott? I wouldn't expect anything less than chaos. 100%. The Discord is a proper chaos dragon. Go on then, runners and riders. As we round third, T-minus 26 minutes and 40 seconds left on the docket. Lando Norris sits at the top of your timing sheets on a 118.015. Sainz in second on a 118.028. George Russell from Max Verstappen in fourth. Yeah, I'm not buying that. I'm not buying that from Max. Max Verstappen in fourth on a 118.0. Charles Leclerc 118.07 in fifth. Sixth, Hajar Tsunoda-san, Albon, Antonelli, Liam Lawson. Oh, the humanity. Max probably has way more fuel on board than McLaren's potentially, and maybe has his engine dialed down. Let's have a look at the maximum velocity. 344 kilometers per hour through the speed trap from Max. 347 from Sainz. 346 per Norris. That's unusual, isn't it? I don't know. I can't read it. Oscar is not the same man, says EasyG, all the way down there in 13th. And he set a time. What is going on, Oscar? Fix up, chap. You can't be as near as makes the difference half a second off the top, the quickest time this session. What? Cameron, I noticed that Lewis is cornering. It is coming. Why look at Singapore without break? I don't know what you're saying. Mikhail. He would eat Charles Leclerc in Austin, and he's more aggressively. He would overtake Leclerc, so he's coming. Okay, so you think Lewis is getting there? Lewis is getting there. He's getting there. If you look at the times in qualifying, if we're talking absolute terms performance, qualifying is what matters, right? Even though you only score points on Sunday. But Lewis is he's gradually been closing the gap to Charles Leclerc in qualifying. He has been. And for that, he deserves some credit because Charles Leclerc is not a bad peddler and he's not a bad qualifier. Point to point, some say he's the quickest. Currently, of the 20 on the grid, don't worry, Hamilton is coming. Oof, in Singapore, Leclerc was lift and coasting since lap 7, if I remember. I think both of them were visual, to be honest. Bloody ride height problems, technical difficulties always with this bloody nonsense Scuderia Ferrari team. What's the point? Honestly, there is none. There just is none. 805, if you're watching concurrently, do me a favour, smash the like. It's going to get techier than techie things later on today in qualified, and I'm here for it. Your boy wants to go to sleep and get a siesta, but I cannot. New movie, Carry On Cope. Oh, the humanity, Clive. Carry On, a brilliant franchise, by the way. Mama Cameron's a big fan. He's not even top 5 in speed trap, so he's definitely doing some long runs at race sims. 100% biocam. Of course, alluding to the fact that Max Verstappen. I mean, where is he? 4th? Nah, that doesn't feel right. That doesn't feel right. Karan Chandler getting into his OJP bag. I'm going to tell you guys about this story again. I spoke to Mahad from McLaren Fan TV. All he does is watch Formula 1 and pay attention to the nuance of the McLaren circumstance. And he said, you don't want to look at Oscar Piastri's countenance. What you want to pay attention to is his performance, and that he's an enhorabuena merchant. When he's in good form, he's almost invincible. But when he has that drop in form around tracks that he doesn't like, where tyre management is a thing, and where it's low speed, medium duration turns, and where you gain your time, then Lando Norris just passes him. He enjoys it more, and that's what we're about to those are the next 5 races, being Miami, what are you talking about? Las Vegas, Brazil up next, then we go Vegas, and then it's Qatar, Brazil, Mexico, Brazil, Vegas, Qatar, Abu Dhabi. Oscar will go around Qatar, but there needs to be damage limitation PLC around all 5 races to come, right? Not just one of them. I think Oscar Piastri is going to struggle around here, chat. I'll be honest with you, and it pains me. Just thought of my coffee mug. Let's go, Mr. V. Let's go. You boys and girls are getting the merch on. There will be George Russell merch dropping. I wanted to get the Christmas line out, but it might be a bit too ambitious. Visual. Why aren't Ferrari being accused of sabotage this year when last year Russell was constantly quicker in quali? I think because to the discerning of eye amongst us, I think it's not so much a surprise. It's not as big a surprise, at least, that Charles Leclerc is able to out-qualify Lewis, because he's just that damn quick, isn't he? He just is that quick. George Russell tops your timing sheet and a 17.9 rounded. Oh, the humanity. Track evolution normalised for. That's chaos. Absolutely, Carmen. Kira, I will miss it next year. How close? I know, Kira. They always do this to F1. They always mess with it, and the next year 1 or 2 teams will do like Red Bull did in 2010, like Mercedes did in 2014, like Red Bull did again in 2022. One team will always make the jump bigger. It's got to happen, Z. I've got to do it. Bear with, I promise you, I'll pull it together, mate. Time, I mean, but look at Z, you've already given me homework though, mate. The Discord needs to get sorted, and tell me hypocrisy. Tell me you're a hypocrite without telling me you're a hypocrite. Easy G's not a hypocrite, just a Lando Norris fan. Let's forget Oscar gave 3 points to Lando. Oh, it's techie. We're getting into that dynamite. And I can't. It's too 1,000 of you watching concurrently. If you like the stream, then like the stream. I make no apologies for labouring this point, that this community drives and survives under the aegis of your support, and I am grateful for that. You could have been anywhere in the world, but you're here with me to talk about some F1 Nasdaq. British press and channels are never objective, only defend British drivers, even if they are as mediocre as Lando Norris. Not me, Super Magneto. Surely I'm the maybe I'm the exception that proves the rule. Piastri is the GOAT, says Hamilton. He's a very good driver. Don't let the form. I mean, even if he did, let's say Oscar comes third in the championship, as it has, he's still been brilliant. 3rd season, fighting Lando and Max, has led for the majority of it. I think we need to put some respect on Oscar's name, even if he doesn't win another race between now and the end of the season. There will be questions though. Of him, there will be questions if that happens. Lots of them. It's important. Oscar shouldn't have swapped places with Lando at Monza. They disrespected him bad. Listen, I don't think it's even the inversion isn't even the worst of it. T-minus 19 minutes remaining. The worst of it for me, if I were Oscar, I would have been infuriated that they tried to make me tow my closest rival in the championship, the guy in the other car, to ensure that I mitigate for his mistake that he made in Q2. No, I'm not doing it. Not doing it. You can go and do it. Honestly, just at the thought of it, I lose my mind. Cammy has to fight McLaren 2, Zach Brown, Norris era settings. Very true, Mike. It feels like that. It certainly feels like there's more commercial value at this juncture in a Lando Norris World Driver Champion. I'd like to see you all lot racing at this time. Tam Priest, I make no apology. Listen, I'll tell you the truth. Could I kart? I don't think I could. I mean, I've raced some high-level go-karters and I've just been just destroyed me. These aren't F1 drivers. Do you know what I mean? There is a YouTube video where Ollie Behrman disguises himself and races some amateur karters. Comes from last. I think there's some strategic editing in that video, but the underlying point is still a pertinent one. The F1 drivers are built different. If anybody karted with them, it would be shoot Albon. Michael, which one, chap? There's a lot of comments in here, Michael. You'll forgive me if I miss a couple of them. I agree with Windsor that the blame for everything with McLaren is Zach Brown's fault for even signing Oscar in the first place. It doesn't help. I disagree with Peter in that sense, respectfully, because if you have yourself the opportunity to sign the next generation of one, that you will do, but it was always going to be this way. It's a difference now. It was always going to be when. There is not a time in history, whether it's Nico and Lewis in 2015 and 16, whether it's Senna and Prost in 89 and 90, like it was never, there's never a moment, Webber and Sebastian in 2010, there's never an example of two fire-breathing draggers, two number one drivers when it's ended well. Without acrimony, always does. It's always going to be a question of when and not if. Albon better figure out that corner. I see race chaos. He's not the only one. I didn't cover up. I don't think he recovered from Monza team order. Which one though? The qualifying one I think is more egregious, you know, than the invert positions. He's got to feel aggrieved, and some would say rightfully so, right? He's been no. Letting Max close down 104 to 40 points is all down to Oscar giving Lando 3 points. I know, yeah. Easy G, you make a pertinent point. No, you make a but go on then, Easy G. Allow me to push back respectfully here. If Oscar is a confidence player, driver, then what better way to, not deliberately, this isn't me saying Zach Brown did this. There's not actus reus necessarily in this, mens rea more, but if you wanted to destroy Oscar's chances of winning the championship in 2025, what better way than destroying his confidence, if indeed he's the confidence driver that Mahad of McLaren Fan TV thinks he is. I didn't realise. All of a sudden, Mahad said to me, don't look at his countenance. Don't pay attention to this mental fortitude and stoicism, because that doesn't get you points. Ultimately, it's in his performance. And over the last 3 races, 0 podiums from Oscar Piastri. Trend is your friend until there's a bend. It's not good. Most of Lando's fanboys are UK biased. Maybe, Michael. Maybe. I mean, he's got his stand at Silverstone now, hasn't he already? Oh, the humanity. No breakdown, no orders. Yeah, fair. Fair also. It's going to get this season's going to get techie. Ferrari is nowhere to be seen again, Easy G. I wouldn't cry harder. Chill out, guys. We're on a break on Sky F1. Let's keep it civil, 100%, Joe. Well policed. There are 1,000 of you currently watching. If you could do me a favour and take 2 seconds, it is free. Just smash the like button, please. It means more than you might realise, I'm telling you. And for that, I appreciate each and every single one of you who have already done me the favour and extended me the privilege. Right. I hate it on a break. I don't think Sky, if I'm paying 90 quid, I don't think Sky should be allowed to take a break. Not even free practice. I want to see 60 minutes without a break. Squeeze all your breaks, coverage rules. DJN, I really object to this break stuff. Here we go, soft tyre runs. Go on then, Oscar Piastri, 27. Come off the outcome of the Mane. Look at this, Oscar Piastri on fresh soft compound tyres. Has just gone purple set to 1. 29.9. So he's lost, no, he lost half a tenth, Crofty. Do your maths. 27.3. 2. Put some respect on his name. Oscar Piastri fastest 17.3. But yeah, that's not great, is it? Oscar Piastri about to cross the line, goes 3rd fastest on a brand new set of soft compound tyres. Here we go. T minus 13 minutes and we have ourselves a dummy qualifying session. Isaac, not bad, Joe. Look at that. 17.4. Insane. Middle sector, says Karan Chanduk. He's getting his nose in here, is Isaac. Where are the soft tyre runners? I think Max is Max is on. All right, here we go. Max and Carlos Sainz on out laps both. And they're about to go ham, aren't they? This is where we get techie, chat. This is where we start to see which one of these emperors has no clothes. Yeah, I want to see Lando's lap. But Lando's still on mediums. So you've got a couple of seconds there. Charles Leclerc goes quickest with a 17.3. Goes faster than Oscar. That's not a bad lap from Oscar. Oscar's back, I know, all of a sudden. Ah, where are the Oscars? I mean, look. Even if he doesn't win another race, Antonelli goes top, what? 17.2. Can you spell track evolution? Something's going on. Something's going on here. Max 16.9. Incoming guy. You portend. 11/10. Here comes Charles. Max will go 3/10 faster. Well, let's see. 27.5 from Max. So he's 2/100 slower than Antonelli going through there. And critically, 2/10 slower than Oscar Piastri going through sector 1. But he's purple microsectors from Max. Purple microsector consecutively in sector 2 from Max. Max goes quickest of all, 29.7 through sector 2. So go on, let's do some maths. Oof, so he's going for Antonelli's time here. Oh, sector 3, cheeky lockup. Yellow microsectors. Max will go close here. But no, 17.317 from Max. I'm putting all the money on Russell in Mercs today. Quick on soft. This is true. I want to see Lando on them. So, here we go. Lando's just put soft compound tires. Lewis Hamilton goes 27.3. What? 27.3 and then 29.5 on purples. Lewis Hamilton about to go quickest here, chat. Look at this. 0.2 quicker than 0.1, 1.5 tenths quicker than Antonelli going through sector 1. Lewis drops it on pole. Provisional pole, if there's such a thing in FP3. Oh, the humanity. Pay-per-view 100%. Richard, it's unacceptable. It is unacceptable. Lando Norris goes 27.2. All eyes on Lando Norris here. 27.269. Exactly 1/10 quicker than Lewis Hamilton over the same sector 1. Oh, the humanity. Max needs to go quicker. I know. I want to see it. I think Max has got time in there, to be fair. He'll relax himself for a lap and then he'll go again. Lando Norris purple all over the shop and the microsectors in sector 2. A purple microsector incoming for sector 2 from Lando. 27.2 and 29.5 flat, as near as makes the difference for Lando. So he's carrying 0.7, 7/100ths. So he's carrying 2/10 on Lewis here. But then he's going yellow microsectors. He drops in a purple one. He's going to go 16.7 here. There we go, 16.6 from Lando Norris. Jeez, 3.5 tenths. Jeez. The old man still got it, Michael says. Oof. Corinne Chandler says, oof. That is a big lap. So now that Lando's done that, please advise Max Verstappen. Easy G, your boy's quick. Like when he did that 121.0 in FP2. Look at Stella. Stella's like, oh. Stella's like, by the way, 0.7 quicker than Oscar Piastri. That's chaos. Normalised for track evolution. That's still material between the McLaren drivers. That is a monster lap, Sir John Perry from Lando. Lando midriff Norris. Oof. Corinne Chandler uses the proper words, right? Oof. WTF. Z, how we said Z. No way 20% is representative of Lando Norris. I tell you what, you won't get 4-1 now. Did you get 4-1 Z on Lando Norris dropping it on pole? Because you won't get that anymore. Jeez. Oof. It's brutally quick, eh? Max was indeed not on it, so maybe sandbagging. In other news. I don't know any of those people, DJ, and I don't follow the sport. You will bottle it in qualifying, says Angel, potentially. It is indeed, Joe, only FP3, and Red Bull will improve. Sonoda-san, 9th, Bortoletto. You run as riders with 7 minutes and 45 seconds left on the docket. Lando Norris has the whip hand, and how? 116.633, 3.5 tenths down the road. Is that what you got, F1s? Z, you're looking nice now. You got big cash out opportunities. Ignore this betting degenerate talk if you're not already a betting degenerate. There was no way the odds makers should have priced up Lando as only putting it on pole 20% of the time. That was lies. Oscar 6 tenths away. So go on then, your runners and riders will do round third base. 7 minutes and 7 seconds left on the docket. Lando Norris tops your timing sheets on 116.633, 3.5 tenths down the road from a resurgent Sir Lewis Carl Davies and Hamilton, and thou shalt put some respect on his name, as Nero's makes no difference. A 117 flat, 2 tenths. 2 tenths adrift is Oscar Piastri in third. Antonelli on a 117.25. Leclerc in fifth, Max Verstappen in sixth. Agile Russell leads to Noda-san from Bortoletto. Oh, the humanity. What are we talking about? Perez. I cannot. The AI radio transcriptions. McLaren was definitely sandbagging yesterday. Sir John, I don't think they were, though. The 121.0 in the final stages, the last seconds of that, tells you all you need to know. George Russell goes 17.1. I'm keen to see Max Verstappen put in another lap. Oh my gosh, chat. Lando Norris has entered the chat. As always, Jürgen, Lando Norris has been quicker than Oscar Piastri the past 4 races. Big moment for the World Championship. You can say that again, Karan Chandak. No kidding, Sherlock. Tell us something that we don't know. Way to add value, sir. It is. Oh my, techie qualifying coming into. Oh my gosh, 11th, and it's going to get very techie. T minus 5 minutes and 35 seconds left on the docket. Oh, the humanity. Oh no. He's Agile calling an idiot. Idiot. I didn't go crazy. Maybe you'll be nice, see? I should have. Oh, Z. 4-1 Lando. Listen, you never bet against. He's burnt once bitten, twice shy. Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. That's why I didn't take the 20, but 20%. Can you spell statistical arbitrage? I mean, Hamilton cooking too. I know qualifying's going to be chaos, and we will be live for qualifying 30 minutes before. I'm going to put a cheeky link in here so you guys know where to find it. Just watch Lando bottle it. Oh, the humanity. Say it so. Please. I can't bottle this. Can't bottle this, Lando. You can't. Surely not. But then Lando puts it on pole, and then Max in second or third. Into turn 1. Oh, the humanity. It's going to get techier than techie things. Go on, and the link is in the chat for the qualifying stream in case you want to bookmark it or anything. Get yourself in ahead of time. It's going to get, oh my gosh. Can't cope with it. 1,300 of you watching currently, do me a favour and smash the like if you, of course, you like the stream. 3 minutes 50 seconds left on the docket, and I'm nervous as fudge. Let the F2 champ drive already. Who are you referring to there? Who might you be referring to? Have you talked about how short this track is? About the same as Austria and Hungary. I have not, DJ. We've covered the altitude though. We talked about the kilometres around here at the start and the fact that you will get the highest speed of all of the 24 circuits currently on the calendar. We'll go again. We'll review going into quali, and so too we'll review the context. If you rewind, DJ, and if you've just popped in, then you'll see we did some we covered the most pertinent contextual items at the start of the agenda. Cam, don't let Alonso get away. You want me to destroy Alonso? I mean, he'll be there 19th, but he'll be there. I guarantee he'll be closer to Stroll than this. He will be closer. Where's Max? 17.2. And again, Crofty makes the point. No grip, front and rear. Oh no, Red Bull need to go away and do some things. I thought they'd brought all the proper upgrades, you know what I mean? Cooling ducts, brake ducts, floor fairing. JP looks puzzled. What is going on? Championship over. Oh, the humanity. No, surely. Red Bull will go and sort something out. They've got a couple of hours. Get in the simulator, Sebastian Buemi. Go and do what you did at the US Grand Prix. No grip again, Silver. I tell you what, they've got to sort it out here. This is DEFCON 1 now. I thought Red Bull would be closer than that. Look at that. Max Verstappen's currently languishing in 6th. Let's do this though, chat. The gap between Tsunoda and Verstappen, normally around 6 or 7 tenths, right? That will put Max right in contention once they sort that car out. Geo Scholar, you're a legend. This is very exciting. Peak F1. Peak F1. How does it feel to be an F1 fan? Alonso hasn't set a soft time 100%. He has set a soft time. He's done. Oh no, you're right. So Alonso's done 7 laps on these mediums that he's currently on. He keeps doing out laps on the soft and then coming back in. Weird. So he's come out. He's used three sets of softs. He's put 1 lap on each. What? Why? Makes no sense. Okay, a minute. If that's allowed to say 100%. No, 100% DJN. I'm not disparaging here, mate. But maybe afterwards, go back and have a look at the context is all up front. Try and go, if we're going to go context, we do it in the first couple of minutes. But no, DJN, feel free to pop in and pop out. In real life happens sometimes. And that's probably more important than some F1. They need to balance that car now, says Angel. It's getting techie, says Joe. Oof. So Lando drive the best car this weekend. Go, Max. That car's quick. We said, didn't we? We did say, not to give myself a big pat on the back, but there's always going to be a normalization delta. McLaren were always going to be infinitely more prepared for this race on the back of a sensible FP1, 2 and 3 than they were sprint race weekend, last race weekend, especially in a sprint race where they completed no laps. FP3 does matter. So they will have the ride height more dialed in. We'll see how quick they are. We will see their speed. AWS said that Red Bull have the quickest car since when? Hungary? Really? Based upon what? Matt Bishop would always say legend of F1 racing, motorsport.com, colossally, that's history podcast, would always say, and again, former Aston Martin Chief Communications Officer, same role at McLaren, he'd always say that to judge how quick a car is really, truly, then you need to look at the second driver, not the first. The second, how is Yuki on it? Yeah, that's the point test. You will imagine that once the car's dialed in, that Max guy, will have more pace. Aston have done this in previous years, says Visual. Putting in a heat cycle, true. Visual. Curing the tyres, says Sir John. Oh, the humanity, I'm nervous. 11:50 if you're watching Kokoni, do me a favour. If you like the stream, then like the stream. It means more to the channel than you might realise. 0.609 adrift is Max. Completes those laps on 9. So, okay, there we go. So that's his best lap. Leaves him 6th fastest. But he's completed that on 9 lap old tyres. No. No, Gino. No, Gino. I think Max forcing to be 5-time champion could go well. And remember, P3 is the position to have, right? If you want a double toe into turn 1, mention no names, Max Verstappen 2021. Not mad at Sonoda-san. I know that's decent from Sonoda-san. Don't hate it. Go on then. Your runners and riders as we round 4th are as follows. 990 of you in the chat. If you like the stream, then like the stream. Lando knows tops your timing sheet on a blitzkrieg quick 1:16.633. 3.5 tenths down the road from the next best in Sir Lewis. Carl Davidson Hamilton on a 16.978. George Russell 17.1. Charles Leclerc in 4th on a 17.2 rounded. Piastri on a 17.2. A drift of his teammate to the tune of 0.7. As near as makes no difference. Verstappen in 6th on a 17.2. Antonelli 17.2 7th. Hajar shortly thereafter. Yuki Tsunoda on a 17.4. Bortoletto rounds out your top 10. This is going to be chaos, ladies and gentlemen. We will go live for the avoidance of doubt as Bortoletto's moaning about a McLaren impede in him. I'm nervous already. Your boy's going to try and get a siesta between now and quali. There is a link to quali in the description for the avoidance of doubt. Get yourself in there ahead of time because it will get Persy. This will get techier than techie things. Sitting pretty, AZ, a bit of statistical arbitrage, taking advantage of bookmakers who can't tally their numbers. Cheeky transposition error. JCOM man settings. It's techie. It is techie. So go on then, chat. We will go live 30 minutes before lights out, I promise, because there's a lot to discuss here and qualifying will get very chaotic. We go live in T-2 hours. Between now and then, as always, you guys have been legends. I make no apologies for labouring the point that this channel community ceases to exist without you and your industry fact checking me and my noddy B-spec F1 opinions. We'll be back in T-2 hours. Link is in the description. Between now and then, the prosecution, as always, rests. No further questions, Your Honour.